What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, a comic book podcast that also talks about movies, TV shows, and we feature a beer of the week. I am Matt. With me is Lauren. It's Supernatural Friday. Cheers to that. It had been a couple weeks. I apologize. We are going to talk about today Supernatural episode season 5, 3 through season 5, episode 9. And first things first, if you want to find us and you don't know where you just stumbled upon us, Hops Geek News on any podcasting platform. Check us on any social media platform. We have a lot of great things. If you want to be a supporter of the show, Hops Geek News, patreon.com/Hops Geek News. And my beer of the week is from Crux Brewing Company, or Crux Fermentation Project, out of Bend, Oregon. Consider this hazy IPA an open invitation to the tropical hop party of your dreams. Comet, Matueka, and Citra hops deliver off-the-wall notes of lemon, lime, and candied peach rings, while a rich orange haze and a pillowy, soft mouthfeel with just the right amount of bitterness brings you back around the block for another sip. Now, this comes in at 6.5% out of Bend, Oregon. I sent Lauren one of these as well, so we're both drinking it together. And I figured that, we're partying with Satan. We're partying with the apocalypse. Why not have a good old-fashioned urban jamboree this week on Supernatural Fridays?
Well, I did open a non-alcoholic, so I was trying to be responsible because this is my third beer of the night, and I'm almost 40.
This is my third beer of the night, and I'm almost 33.
I was going to say you're way closer to 30 than 40. I'm like 5 months away from 40.
Oh, the humanity.
But much like Sam, this beer has no mojo. But nope, I just opened this one you have, and I threw it in my Spidey glass because 1, it was right behind me. 2, it's awesome. And 3, we get to meet multiple Dean Winchesters in the real Ghostbusters episode, and they can point at each other.
We do indeed. So we're going to kick it off with season 5, episode 3, Free to Be You and Me.
I just say you are on like a chef's kiss of a season, to use your words.
This is a really good season. It really is. There's a lot happening, and I'm loving it. And in this episode in particular, Sam thinks about giving up hunting. Dean and Castiel.
Peace out, Sam.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm like, give me a Dean and Castiel show. Who cares about Sam?
Called the Destiel show.
I'm sorry, but goodbye, Sam. You later loser. And they attempt to get Cass laid.
Ooh, this is yummy.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Nice and hazy.
Very good.
From Bend, Oregon, Crux Fermentation Project.
That is super yummy.
Get them at Costco out here, which is cool. Anyways,
Nice.
Some fun facts about this was Chastity was also lust in season 3, The 7 Deadly Sins. Dean cites the Chinese basket trick as proof of God's existence. That trick is a sex act depicted in ancient Chinese watercolor paintings and sex manuals. It involves a supine male and a woman suspended in a crotchless basket by a strong rope attached to a springy tree branch. That is a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Supernatural.
There is. So the basic premise of this is Sam's, I'm giving up hunting, and Dean's like, Castiel, we need to get you laid. And it does not go well for old Cass.
What when he calls him like he's like, what are you scared of, a teenage mutant ninja angel?
It does not go well for old Cass there.
Cass doesn't want to be there. He doesn't want to go in the room with the girl.
He's like that friend, you go out, meet up with your old friend, your old college buddy, and you're married and all that, and they're single, and they're just like, let's go do this. And you're like, no, I'm too old for this shit. That's basically what this is.
Cass doesn't want to be there at all.
Yeah. And so that's kind of the premise of that episode, I should say.
He's like, her dad just hated his job.
Daddy issues. Who doesn't love those?
It's like, that's what this foundation is built on. But you have that moment where Dean's like, I haven't laughed. I can't remember the last time I laughed.
That's like true. This. There was
so
that
it was
where
very
Dean was like,
sweet. Yeah, between the two of them. And that's when their friendships truly started to again, they had a bit of a connection in season 4, but this is like, that wasn't saving the world. There was nothing going on there. That was their friendship building.
I would straight up just watch a Dean and Castiel show.
Who the fuck would
I would just, that's it. So I don't really have much to say about these other than, season 5 has been a real treat. It's been awesome. And although I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, can we just settle our differences, Sam and Dean, already? Like, Jesus God, just end it already.
Jesus God. Those are puns in this show.
That's right. Let's get. So season 5, episode 4 was titled The End. Sam wants to rejoin Dean because Sam is a angsty teenage girl who cannot make up his mind. Excuse me, that was misogynistic. I'm sorry. Sam is
An angsty teenager.
angsty teenager, and he wants to rejoin Dean in battle of the apocalypse, the soul of Gotham City, if you will. However, Dean's like, nah, dude, we're better off apart. This is where Dean wakes up 5 years in the future. He's attacked by humans that are infected with a demonic virus. This is where we go to Croatoan.
Well, this is the Croatoan virus, which we talked about beforehand. Yeah.
This is where we meet. This was actually pretty decent. So first things first, toilet paper. They called it. Hoard it.
Chuck said.
Hoard it.
Okay, but this scene's going to be funnier later too when I explain it to you.
It wasn't funny enough.
No, it gets funnier.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well, the sign outside the movie theater when Dean first wakes up in 2014 says, now playing Route 66 or 666. One of the stars of the film Route 666, which was also an episode in season 1, is Stephen Williams, who plays the hunter Rufus.
What? Who doesn't love Rufus? So this could be a nod to the Hollywood Babylon episode as well, where Route 666 movie picture is in the background.
It's just a tongue twister, man.
6666.
666.
And now we're just summoning demons over here. But yeah, I thought that was a cool nod to potentially Rufus and to potentially Hollywood Babylon.
Yeah, this was a good episode because it's in 2014, the future for them. And
Cass is having
Cass
orgies.
is a human. He's having orgies. He gets high. He hung out with Aaron Rodgers a little too much. Now he just does mushrooms and gets high and has orgies and things of that nature.
I personally think that this episode is a crock of shit. Not the episode, but the vision of the future. I don't think this future was ever going to happen in any way, shape, or form. Obviously, this vision was to teach him a lesson. And if this did happen in the next, the show would have ended at that point.
So,
but I think Zachariah is just being a dick, and he's trying to.
Are pissed.
Yeah, and he's trying to manipulate Dean.
Oh, without a doubt, because he's, Sam said yes, and we see Sam in his fancy white suit. It's funny that the devil always dresses in like all fancy white shit.
He's an angel, and he wants everybody to know it.
That's true. And he's like, oh, Dean, this blah, 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 blah. He killed the other Dean because the other Dean was selfish. And he's like, we'll see you again soon. But no, I'm convinced the angels, they want Dean to become this
They're playing
vessel.
with them.
Yeah. No, they're being a dick. I don't believe this was ever going to happen either at all.
And Cass showing up when he's like, well, we had an appointment. But how cute is Cass when he's like,
he's just standing there.
Funny, Dean. The minutes that I don't have much time. And he's like, well, I'll just wait here.
Yeah, he stands there on the street corner basically. He's like, well, we had an appointment, and it was
right. And then this scene,
Cass is ride or die.
So you need to remember this scene because there's an episode in season 10 that makes that scene hilarious. It all comes full circle.
I'll catch the call back.
See, at least you have me to teach you the callbacks. This true. Beer is so good. I'm really impressed with this beer.
Juicy. It is good. I don't get the peach ring kind of taste that they talk about, but I get a lot of juiciness.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
And it's very smooth.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Maddie T coming through the clutch. Let's go into season 5, episode 5, Fallen Idols. Sam and Dean.
4 years ago, I had a funny hat.
This was that episode. So yes, Sam and Dean head to a small town where people are murdered by famous dead icons. However, the brothers come to a dead end when two teenagers revealed they saw Paris Hilton kidnap their friend. Okay, so first things first, Carrie called it. Paris Hilton was filming House of Wax with Jared Padalecki, and that's probably why she's on this.
Yeah. But there's a scene when Dean goes, I haven't even seen House of Wax. And yes. Jared or Sam looks over all like offended.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Okay. But yes. So shout out, Carrie called this one. She was like, I think they were filming this at the same time. And like, this looks like the town from House of Wax. Well, look and behold, they were in the movie together.
Yeah, I knew they were in the movie together, but I didn't think about that they might have filmed it nearby. Yeah. That was probably one of the first things I saw Jared Padalecki in, and that's where he's like at the piano or something, and they like rip his cheek off. Ugh.
Yeah, he was a horror icon in like the later 2000s. Between this and Friday the 13th.
God, that was my friend Brandy. I know I've talked about her on here before. She made me watch those movies. It was terrible.
Well, The Green Dragon Inn is a
Damn it,
tavern
Brandy. I still can't watch Jeepers Creepers because of her.
God. Anyways, the Green Dragon Inn is a tavern from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings. The character who finds James Dean's car, little bastard, is called Cal James Dean, played Cal in East of Eden in 1955. Of course, we have the House of Wax nod.
So, Little Bastard. Do you know much about Little Bastard? Because
I know
didn't.
nothing about Little Bastard.
So I ended up going down like a rabbit hole, and I had to stop myself because like we could do a whole episode on this shit. So I guess it got like pieces were taken, and the pieces of Little Bastard that went to other cars, those cars ended up in accidents, and then they didn't know what happened. And a lot of it is a rumor and not confirmed and yada, yada, yada. But what's one thing I did find that I was like, oh, okay, we'll share this. This is a quote unquote geek podcast. Before the accident, Alec Guinness himself, Obi-Wan Kenobi, told James Dean, please never get in it. If you get in that car, you will be found dead in it by this time next week. He said that he doesn't know why he thought that, doesn't know why he felt that. He just had a very bad feeling and felt that he had to tell James Dean that, even though it was out of character for himself to say something like that. And James Dean, as any regular person would say, laughed it off. But Alec Guinness said that the car just looked sinister.
So is that how James Dean died?
Yeah, he died in the car.
Huh. Crazy. Honestly, didn't know too much about that. Well, it shows you how much I know. Well, I loved particularly that the sequence of Sam fighting Gandhi, of all people. Like, that was great. I thought he was supposed to be peaceful.
Right.
And so like you have Gandhi. Yeah. Again, you have Paris Hilton, who is the quote unquote demon.
She did great in this. She was awesome. No, she wasn't a demon. She was a god.
Oh yeah. It was God. They're the same in my head sometimes. I apologize.
Well, in the show, they're just as evil as demons. So
right. All the gods turn out to be dicks, as we'll see later on.
Basically,
but, yeah. I mean, pretty much everybody's a dick. Angel, demon, god. You're all a dick for no reason.
God, you don't even know that God's a dick
yet. And yeah, no, I loved Abraham Lincoln. It was a fun episode. I had a lot of fun with this episode, personally speaking. There's some great things, and Gandhi's glasses, they burned. You have Abe's top hat, all of that good stuff. And then of course Paris Hilton comes, ties him to a tree. Good stuff.
She was fantastic in this.
She gets a bad rap in general. Of course, she plays a stupid character just because that was her persona back then, but she's really smart, I think. There's some cooking show, I think, with Paris Hilton at one point on HBO Max. Go check it out. Season 5, episode 6, I believe our children are the future, or our future.
Children are our future.
I believe our children are our future. Dean and Sam investigate a series of murders that resemble fairy tales and urban legends. The brothers track down an 11-year-old boy that Castiel deems a serious threat, and Cass was ready to kill that 11-year-old boy in a heartbeat. But Cass gets turned into an action figure. Fun fact. Cool.
Did you pick up the Harry Palms reference?
No. I was half awake during this episode, I'll be honest.
All right. So I didn't pick that one up till probably my second or third watch. So this is the episode where all these myths that kids have in their head, like, oh, your parents tell you if you keep making that funny face, your face is going to get stuck like that. If you mix soda and Pop Rocks, you're get an ulcer, your stomach will explode or something. So this 11-year-old kid, who we find out is half demon, half human, is obviously very powerful. It's almost like a Nephilim, but it's a demon, not an angel. And it just, in his imagination, he's told these things are true. So in this vicinity that he's living in, these things are becoming true. Like the first story is the girl with the itching stuff in her head. She's, literally scratches her skull until she gets to her brain.
Yeah, that was dark.
Yeah, a lot of it is dark, and like the whole with the buzzer thingy where Dean literally like makes a ham and then he's eating it the whole episode. So there was a scene, they go to the hospital and they're talking to a nurse, and Dean's being all early seasons of Dean about the nurse, and then Sam leaves him alone and he comes back and Dean asks, "Are we in the vicinity of these little kid urban legends?" And as a little boy, what's the urban, not a little boy, but as a boy, what's the urban legend you're told? If you yank it too much, what's going to happen? You get hairy palms.
Oh.
So Dean goes, "Are we in the circle?" And Sam goes, "Yeah, probably. Why?" And he holds up his hand, and his hand is hairy. And he goes, I was bored. The nurse was hot.
I remember that now. I remember this now. I didn't get it at the time, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't pick it up the first round either. I don't, these little things that they throw in there that are just like, what? That are also hilarious.
Yes.
And then Sam's like, don't use my razor because he goes to shave his hand before they venture off to go investigate the case. So this little kid, though, the actor who played him, he plays a young Gunpowder in The Boys season 3, and he is the one when Dean's holding the bazooka or whatever the hell it is that obviously if Sam was there, he wouldn't let him use. When he drops it behind him, that kid, that actor catches it. He doesn't play the older Gunpowder because you see the older Gunpowder in the later scene, but he plays a young one. So I love that was that kid in that scine.
Kripke strikes again.
I will say though, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spoiler this for you. We don't see him again. And a lot of people, lot of fans
he went into hiding at the end. What the heck?
Right. Where is this kid? He was so powerful with all the things that happened in the next, 10, 11 seasons. We could have used this kid. Why wasn't he ever utilized?
Did they ever answer that?
No, that was it. That's the last we saw of him. And Cass even says he's like, with his powers, he can stay hidden.
That's really weird because he was half demon, half human, and they put him in basically witness protection program. So
he put himself in witness protection. Yeah. But I mean, with the Winchesters kind of, somewhat reviving, who knows, maybe he'll come back. Obviously he still has a relationship with Jensen Ackles and even if it's just professional.
True. I don't know. I feel like you can't bring him back in the Winchesters if he never appeared again and they didn't know who he was.
You can do whatever they want.
No, you can't.
Could.
No. Anyway.
You don't know what the Winchesters is.
Season 5, episode 7, The Curious Case of Dean Winchester. Dean and Sam.
You get to be our age, Sammy. You're 30, Dean.
That a witch is running a poker game where the currency is life years versus money. Dean tries to intervene when Bobby starts losing the game. Yeah, Bobby. So Bobby's basically like trying to get years back because he's in a wheelchair, which makes sense. And then it was really funny that Dean, he's like a really good poker player, and then turns out that he loses, and it's just like, oof. I personally love that. That was really great. So as Dean and Bobby are leaving the motel, Dean says, "Let's go, Ironsides." He's referring to the late 1960s TV police drama Ironside, featuring Raymond Burr as a former cop paralyzed after being shot in the line of duty. Who is Chad Everett?
He played old Dean, and he did an amazing job.
Oh, I thought he was somebody else besides just playing old Dean. I thought he was like a deep cut for some reason.
Oh, not that I know of. There might be more to it, but I just thought that this guy really
Oh, it was great. Yeah.
I could picture that being Dean when he's old.
Agreed. He was great. And this episode was fun. I mean, it was just
right. And Sam gets the clap. He's got to go to the clinic at the end. He's like, I think that witch gave me an STD.
It was a good, it was one of those lighthearted episodes that hits because Supernatural is really good for that. They give you a couple serious episodes and then they give you like, here's a funny, lighthearted episode.
Okay. And what I just realized, so Sam gets, believe he refers to it as the clap, which I think the clap is gonorrhea. I'm not sure. Okay.
They called it the clap because, in like Vietnam and stuff, or World War II, maybe it might have been, I can't remember off the top of my head fully as a history buff. There would be dudes who'd go to the bathroom and they would like burn when they pee, and then everybody would start clapping for them.
Oh.
So that's how you knew you got it, because they'd be like, because they'd be screaming when they pee as a dude. And so everybody would just start clapping for them. And that's how it got nicknamed the clap.
Interesting. There was some movie I watched where they were like, I got the clap twice. And I was like, I thought the clap wasn't curable, but gone. Okay. Interesting.
It is. It's a curable one. Yeah.
But what's funny is, so Sam, to segue into the next episode, Sam gets the clap in this because he says he has to go get a shot of whatever. And then the next one, he has to do the commercial where he has genital herpes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So season 5, episode 8, changing channels.
When you text me, am I watching a Grey's Anatomy episode? I was so excited.
Yes. Dean and Sam are thrown into an alternate universe by the Trickster where they are characters in different TV series. So I didn't pick up on it at first until they had like the McDreamy type character. And I looked at Carrie. I was like, are we watching a Supernatural?
You mean Dr. Sexy?
Yes. It was.
Well, first they start with the lady describing the Hulk shape, like the Hulk attacked her husband.
Yes. That's right.
And he's like Norton or
Lou Ferrigno.
Ruffalo. No, he said Norton or Ruffalo. And she goes, no, those movies were terrible. What a bitch.
First of all, she knows nothing. All right.
No, she said Banner or Norton. It wasn't Ruffalo. I'm sorry. Banner or Norton.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Eric Bana. He was in that really one. And then Norton was in the.
Okay, but Norton was fantastic.
Yes. Yes. This was a good episode. So Ghost should have mentioned he looks like Dad in a past episode.
Okay. So here's the thing. Have you ever watched Grey's Anatomy?
Yes, I watched Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, so I watched it early on too. Denny is played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who is the quote unquote ghost because Izzy has a brain tumor. Yes. The one thing missing from this episode was when they're like, so there's ghosts in this episode. And Dean's like, yeah, because this is when I guess Jeffrey Dean Morgan was actually on the show at the exact same time. But they should have said, oh, he kind of looks like Dad. They didn't. That was a
missed opportunity.
Maybe it was for legality purposes. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right.
In a past episode, Carver Edlund's publisher, who tells Dean and Sam all anybody wants to read anymore is that romance crap, Dr. Sexy MD, please. Dr. Piccolo was the vampire that got turned in season 1. Obviously, we don't like her. For
you don't find out why you don't like her till later, much later though.
Well, we don't like her. And
she kept slapping Sam.
I don't like being slapped. The Nutcracker game was real. Contestants had to recite a text quickly and accurately or get nutted. Ouch. The blonde nurse comes back as Garth's wife.
Garth. I misspelled that. Garth. Party on, Garth.
Stupid.
My bad.
Blonde nurse comes back as Garth's wife. CSI and Grey's were both on the same night as Supernatural. So yeah, this was really great because it was a trickster playing games. They had to go through all these different things. But this episode is not without consequence because we find out who the trickster really is.
He was there when baby Jesus was born.
Gabriel.
Isn't that the angel that was there when Jesus was born?
I don't know. But turns out that the trickster is actual Gabriel because they find this out because they stab him through the chest with a wooden plank or whatever you want to call it. And they're like, you're not dead. And then he was like, how did you figure they trap him in the circle of holy water fire? And he's like, how did you find out?
We pulled that out of Sam's ass.
Yeah.
After Sam was the kit car.
Yes, I was going to say that was one of my favorite deep cuts is Sam is Knight Rider.
Right, Knight Rider.
And so that was fun. And he's like, oh, that kind of doesn't feel comfortable. And Dean's digging around the trunk and Sam's just like, oh, that's not okay. That was
he slams it. He's like, ow.
Yes, that was great. And so it turns out that the trickster is actually Gabriel, who is in witness protection program, basically. And he wanted Dean and Sam to take their respective roles and fight and all of that stuff. And Dean and Sam were like, dude, what is wrong with you? Like, pretty much shame him. Mm-hmm. Which I would have too. And he, at the end, he was basically like, they're kind of right. Like, what is my problem? What is my deal, man? It was a good episode. This was a fun episode, but it also had
you got Full House and that opener and
but it also had consequences to the greater picture.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to need a bigger mouth. And that gets funnier later too.
Nutcracker.
I
don't speak Japanese. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, Sam Winchester.
But then the questions they were asking too. What's the name? It was funny because they didn't know what they were asking. Would your dad
still be alive?
Would your mom and dad still be alive if Sam hadn't been born?
Like, damn.
Thank goodness they didn't know that.
Oof. Mm-hmm. That was tough. A great episode. It was really cool. It reminded me of WandaVision, of course, because the way they made everything feel the same, how they went back to their roots, all of that good.
When they both had references to Full House. They both had openers that were reminiscent of Full House.
Yeah. And it was a great episode. So I really enjoyed this one. And then the last one that I've watched is season 5, episode 9, The Real Ghostbusters. A fan tricks Dean and Sam into attending a Supernatural fan convention.
Becky.
What's it? Chuck keeps trying to get with Becky, but Becky's all about Sam.
Yeah. But by the end of this episode, she's all about Chuck after Chuck saved the day.
I think I fell asleep at the end of this. I'm going to be honest one. I think this is an episode I kind of fell asleep at the end, like the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody.
Buzz from Home Alone was in this.
I did. I did see him in that, and I was like, oh my God, that's. And then Carrie again was like, yeah, he's from Home Alone. I was like, yeah, that's it. Buzz. Woof.
Okay, so without ruining it, because maybe you need to go back and watch it. So the name of this episode is the same name as the animated series from the 80s, The Real Ghostbusters, which was a spinoff of Ghostbusters. And this is the first mention at the very end of Crowley, which is played by Mark Sheppard.
Yeah. I don't remember the mention of Crowley. When does he come?
Soon? Not yet.
Does he come in season 5?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so close. I need to wrap the show up so I can go watch it.
I said that very confidently and then questioned myself, but I'm pretty sure he comes in season 5.
Okay, fine. So
it would make sense that he does. No, he should.
That I liked that they were all attending this con and they were talking about like fan fiction and things like that. That was great. Mm-hmm. And they had no idea what they're getting into as they appeared to this con. And I love the meta parts about these conventions where they talk about the fan fiction and the people dressed all the same, because it is kind of, they were ahead of their time before Comic-Cons really blew up to what they are today.
No, 100%. And there is a line that I want to mention to anybody who has seen the show that this should go over your head. Chuck at one point has to distract people, and he's telling a story about when he lost his virginity and how the girl then lied about it. If you think about it with future information, it makes it a little bit more interesting.
I don't have future information yet.
I know, but I was trying to be vague because I don't want to ruin it for you.
All right. Well, I'm going to get there. That's kind of where I'm at on Supernatural. I really love this season. Really do. It's got its ups and downs, but there was no one episode that was just like, meh, whatever. They all are pretty impactful and exciting. And I've been told repeatedly that this season is some of the best television.
You're 2 episodes away from Pudding.
Oh, I'm that close?
You're that close.
All right. Well, then I know what I need to do after this, and I need to go get to the Pudding, the reasoning behind Pudding, the meaning behind Pudding, the meaning behind life, if you will. If you enjoy our recaps, our discussions of our Supernatural Fridays, hey, subscribe, share with a friend, all of that good stuff. Check our other ones. We have a really good episode. We have Lance Lucero coming out this week. And then also, if you are a Patreon, subscribe, because right now you can listen to our interview with Derek Robertson, who is the co-creator, the artist for The Boys. That was a really great time. He was gracious enough to spend his time and hang out with us. So patreon.com/HopsGeekNews. You can get that now. Everybody else, you got to wait a little bit for that episode. Hey, we love what we do. We really hope that you love what we do. Share with a friend, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And until next week, catch us on social media, where I'm going to be acting a fool in Boston, Massachusetts for the next 8 days.
Be at MegaCon.
And Lauren will be at MegaCon. If I buried the lead, if you are going to be there all 4 days, Friday afternoon, catch Lauren as she makes her panel debut. She is going to be doing a Disney trivia panel at MegaCon Orlando. Buy your tickets. Come say hi. We have stickers, coasters, swag, all of that good stuff. But come have fun. Come have fun. That's what Comic-Con's all about. Come out Friday. Have a good time. Come say hi. Say, hey, we listened to the show. Whatever you want to do. Lauren will be there.
And if you need a good beer after, Half Barrel Beer Project, teeny tiny little spot, 0.3 miles away from the convention center. Amazing beer on draft, amazing beer on cans. Stop by there.
Too easy. We'll see you at MegaCon on Friday, folks. Until next time, cheers.
Hey, everyone. I don't have much time, so I'm just going to get right to the point. My name is Jordan Arith, and I host a podcast called Hop Heroes. Myself and 2 of my good friends discuss comic book stories while drinking delicious craft beer. You can find us on...
What's up, bro? What's going on here?
Oh, hey, Zach. JR, how's it going?
It's going well, man. What are you up to?
Oh, nothing much. Just talking to myself, practicing lines. You know the drill.
Oh, really? Because it sounded like you were recording the promo without us. And I'm just really confused as to why you would go and do something like that.
I wasn't recording without you guys. And why did you knock when you came on? It's a podcast. That doesn't even make any fucking sense.
Hello, everyone. This is Zach Barlow, the host of Hop Heroes podcast.
You're not the host.
I am joined weekly by my counterparts Jordan and JR, and we will break down Great Brew and discuss the comic book universe. You can find me every Wednesday on all podcast platforms, and these guys will be there as well, I guess.
This is probably why he didn't want you on the promo, Zach.
I'm the host of the show.